Today we're going to look at how to change an improper fraction into a mixed number. I'm going to show you guys two ways to do this. The first way is using pictures on this slide, and the next one is going to be just using division and how that works. So I have two examples here that we're going to look at. And the first one is 7/4. So what that would look like as pictures is the bottom number, the 4, it's telling you how many we have in each group. So we would draw a shape and we're going to cut it into 4 parts. Okay. We are then going to shade in 7 of them. So we can only shade in 4. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to draw another group of 4. And now, since we already have 4 shaded, we're just going to shade in 1, 5, 6, 7. So we don't need to shade in the whole shape. So how we make that a mixed number is we then count, well, how many full rectangles did we draw? In this case, we have 1 whole rectangle drawn. And how many are in the last one? Well, there's 1, 2, 3 out of 4. That's how we would use pictures for that one. In the next example, we are looking at some slightly larger numbers here. We're now looking at 36/24. So we could draw a shape cut into 24 pieces, but when we have a fraction that's fairly large, we want to see if we can maybe reduce that. So just a reminder, when we're reducing, we're looking for something that the top number and the bottom number can both be divided by. So in this case, I know they're both even numbers, so I can divide them both by 2. So 36, half of 36 would be 18. Half of 24 would be 12. Now, this might be okay to draw pictures with. 12, cutting it into 12 pieces isn't that bad. However, if you can make it even smaller, you should try and see if you can make it even smaller. So with this one here, they are still both even. So I'm going to divide by 4 again. Oh, no, sorry, I'm not going to divide by 4. I am going to divide by 2. Sorry about that. So dividing by 2, that's going to equal 9 out of 6. Okay, so this is okay to draw pictures with. I'm okay with drawing these pictures. So again, the bottom number is going to tell us how many pieces to cut it into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to shade in 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to obviously need to draw another shape. We're at 6, 7, 8, 9. So now we're going to look at, okay, I have this entire rectangle shaded. So I have 1 whole rectangle, and I have 3 out of 6 shaded in the last one. You can leave your answer like this. However, with most fractions, you do want to try and put it in lowest terms. So with that, the 3 out of 6 can be made smaller. So when we look 3/6, we could divide both of those by 3. When we make it from lowest terms, if we're making it from lowest terms from our mixed number, we don't change the 1. That stays the same. So when we're dividing here, that's now going to give us an answer of 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1 out of 2. And that's in lowest terms. So those are 2 different examples of pictures. The next slide, I'm going to do a couple more examples, and I'm going to show you how to use just division to get those answers. Okay, so the second way we're going to look at is using division to change an improper fraction to a mixed number. So the first example here we're going to look at is 12/5. So when we're using division, we want to see how many groups of 5 can fit into 12. So 5 can go into 12 twice. That would equal 10. So we would have what's called 2 as a remainder, or we would need 2 more. So 10 plus 2 more would equal 12. The bottom number, it's going to be 5. Bottom number here doesn't change. So when we use division, 5 goes into 12 2 times. That would be 10. We would need 2 more to get to 12. So that one's fairly simple because it's easy numbers to divide with, and we only needed one step. This second example here, 42 over 18, it's a little harder just because these numbers are a little larger. So you could use the same method and say, well, how many times can 18 be divided into 42? But that's a really big number to work with, more chance of a mistake, so we want to see if maybe we could make this a little smaller. So when I see 42 and 18, I see right away they're both even, so I can divide them both by 2. If you can see that you can divide by a larger number than 2, you should. The larger the number you divide by, the less steps you'll have to take. But in this case, I'm going to use 2 as an example. So 42 divided by 2 would be 21. 18 divided by 2 would be 9. Now here we've got a lower number. Maybe you can see how many times 9 can fit into 21. But we do want to try and make it into the lowest terms possible. So we still need to see if maybe we can make that smaller. So we check, can we divide by 2? No, we can't. Neither of them are even. Can we divide by 3? Well, I know that yes, we can. So I'm going to divide them both by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 9 divided by 3 is 3. If we couldn't have divided by 3, you should then try dividing by 5 and dividing by 7 just to see if you can make it any smaller. Now that we have this in smaller terms, we have easier numbers to work with. So now we're going to use the division and we're going to look at, well, how many times can 3, how many groups of 3 fit into 7? So 3, 6, so that'll be 2 full groups. That brings us to 6. We would have a remainder of 1, and our bottom number doesn't change. So 3 goes into 7 twice. We would need to add 1 more to get to 7. So that's how you would use the division method. So when we make mixed numbers, sometimes we can just go right away, like the first one. Sometimes we need to do a little reducing in order to help us get to our final answer.